Hi guys, welcome back. We are going to end this very special series with New South Wales to make sure that we do escape and branch out from the city. So we have Paul from Sydney, Melbourne touring with us. Thanks for joining us, Paul.
Pleasure.
And we've got Dahlia from Destination New South Wales. Hello. So yes, did you guys, Paul specifically actually, did you want to kick off by telling us the best way or ways to travel from Sydney through to Melbourne?
Yeah, there's several ways you can travel from Sydney through to Melbourne. You've got the Sydney-Melbourne Coastal Drive, which pretty much follows the coast of southeastern Australia all the way around. The road's not always right on the coast. Sometimes it might be a little bit off, but that's where you take the turn-offs through the national parks and so forth and get right down to the beach again in so many locations. You've also got an inland alternative, which takes in Canberra, our national capital, and then goes down along the beautiful Murray River through Bendigo, Victorian town, and then into Melbourne. And the other option is the high country, which can take you up into the New South Wales high country. Thredbo, for example, you can take a chairlift to the top of the hill in our summer and then walk to the highest point of Australia at Mount Kosciuszko, which is absolutely stunning. From there, you come down, cross the Murray River into Victoria, and do the Victorian high country down onto the coastal drive. So many different options.
Oh, so many. Yeah, need lots of time there to make the most of all of this. And Dahlia, are there other drives in New South Wales that you'd also recommend to our viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. So Paul mentioned the Sydney to Melbourne drive, and he's going to elaborate on some of the highlights in just a second. But there are some great other drives in New South Wales as well. And I think one of the best ways to experience the States really is on a South Drive. It just gives you that freedom, that independence, and you do get to many places that are off the beaten track that you can't otherwise get to. So a very famous drive is going to the surrounding regions of Sydney, going to the UNESCO World Heritage listed Blue Mountains, where you can see wildlife, you can go hiking, see waterfalls, and then going to the Hunter Valley, which is the birthplace of Australian wine. The Blue Mountains are only 90 minutes drive west of Sydney, and the Hunter Valley, if you were driving from Sydney directly, is 2 hours north. But if you're driving between the two, it's a beautiful drive. It's called the Greater Blue Mountains Drive. It's very scenic, and that drive really combines some of the best things that Australia has to offer. It's great for adventure seekers, but also for people who like to indulge, a bit like me, especially when when you get to the Hunter Valley, because you can try some really award-winning wines, go to award-winning restaurants, sort off the vineyards and hot air balloon, and then indulge in the spa as well. So, you know, it's all about the good life there. And then another coastal drive that we have that is very popular is going from Sydney up to Byron Bay and even further north to the Tweed region, which is the northernmost region in New South Wales.
Okay.
A beautiful coastal drive. It encompasses stunning surf beaches, great wildlife adventures, and you can also enjoy some Aboriginal tours along the way. So there are many options, especially Byron Bay is one of those stops that a lot of people know about. But there are many spots along the coast where you can stop and, you know, enjoy the surf lifestyle that New South Wales and Australia is famous for, visit the national parks, see wildlife, and have some amazing foodie experiences too.
Wow, sounds incredible. Where do we sign? We're sold for sure. So back to Paul then, with that coastal drive, are there some particular highlights that you'd like to flag to our viewers today?
Oh, look, absolutely. There's so many highlights along the coastal drive, and I guess if I covered it in themes might work the best term, and the number one theme that comes to mind that so many people love is our wildlife. There's so many wildlife hotspots right along the drive on both sides of the border. I mean, imagine yourself having a picnic at Pebbly Beach and you sit down, you lay the blanket out and you're looking at the ocean, and then you turn out and there's a family of kangaroos sitting up next to you. It happens all the time. The lorikeets are absolutely amazing. The marine life, getting into Victoria, you've got the Wilson's Prom, where you've got the wombats, Raven Island, natural koala viewing guaranteed, penguins on Phillip Island. So much wildlife along the drive. Then you've also got some great food and wine, like the Sydney Rock oyster. They call the South Coast the Oyster Coast. And you can go out with an oyster farmer, like there's a guy called Captain Sponge, a wonderful name for an oyster farmer. He takes you out on his boat and explains the whole process of how the oysters are grown and how you look after them, nurture them, get the taste right and so forth. And then he finishes the tour with freshly shucked oysters, you know, straight out of the ocean, which is a pretty amazing experience on the New South Wales South Coast. But if there's one tip I would give, it's allow enough time to do the drive.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask, how long should I take to do the drive? And I usually say, well, how long do you want to drive each day? Because that then dictates how long you do it. Because the coastal drive is very much a meandering drive. And it's like you get in the car and you say, okay, I'm going to go to the next location, but oh, there's another national park. Oh, there's a cheese shop. Oh, there's a cellar door. So you're forever stopping and experiencing, and that's what our cellar drive holidays are all about.
Definitely, yeah. You'd want to be able to enjoy those gems along the way rather than
Absolutely.
being, we gotta carry on. Oh, there's some incredible recommendations there for us. Thank you so much, guys. Anything else you want to touch on before we?
Yeah, I think just one thing, and as Paul said, there's so many things to stop along the way, but I think one thing that makes New South Wales road trips also stand out from some of the other road trips you can take in Australia is that the driving distances actually aren't long, which is really good. You're not spending a lot of time in the car. It's actually really easy to get from one place to the other, so you can really spend your time enjoying the destination.
That's a really good point to end on. Yeah, less time behind the wheel and more time enjoying a pool of beauty. Thank you, guys. That's been a great update for our viewers. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.